guys, this is Ray the Game right here. Welcome back to another stream. Today everyone, we are playing some Train Simulator Classic. And today we have a freight train here. We have a EMD SD40 Union Pacific. And I believe this is a SD70 or maybe a GE. Yes, it's an SD70. I believe this is also a SD70. Or no, this is a... I'm not sure what this is, to be honest. I know, so yeah, we got an SD40, we got an SD70, and I guess, I'm not sure what this is. I guess this is a C45, maybe this is a GE. The third one might be a G, I'm not sure, to be honest. That says SD70, this is a C45, so I'm going to guess the third unit is a GE, so the first two are EMDs, and the back two is a GE C45, I believe, if I'm mistaken. Hope I'm not mistaken. So we've got two different liveries. This is the classic Union Pacific livery from, I believe, the 80s. And these back two are the more modern ones that have the American flag on them. Anyways, we are in Springfield, Massachusetts today. We're going to be heading to Worcester, or Worcester, I believe it's actually called. Worcester Union Station, which is like 55 miles away from us. So that's where we're going to be heading. So there is fair freight service on this line, but there is also a fair amount of Amtrak service here. This is the Boston and Maine map. This was part of the Boston and Maine Railroad many years ago. Now I think it's mostly just freight and Amtrak, because there is commuter trains from like Springfield to Boston and whatnot. We just have a freight train here. We got 70 mixed cars. So we got hoppers, box cars, a few grain cars back here, a few tankers back here, followed by some more box cars. Free viewers, welcome free viewers. Let me know if you can hear my voice okay. Can you hear my voice okay? Because is the game too loud? Because the problem is I can't really exit out of the game. Otherwise it will crash. That's the thing with Train Simulator. It doesn't really like it when you exit out, or because then it kind of crashes. Not all the time, but frequently it does that. It's not like Flight Simulator. Anyways, let's go inside the cabin. Okay. So this is just a normal, what do they call it? This is a normal narrow cab, I believe this is called. Because those, I believe, are called a wide cab or comfort cab. What this is, I can't remember. I think this is what they call a narrow cab, maybe. I know this was the first one, this was very popular in the 70s, but starting in the 80s and 90s, they started building wider noses. Oh yeah, I think maybe narrow nose. This is what this is called. Maybe this is called a narrow nose. That's called a wide nose. Because they started building them wider, like this one. Like those last two, they started building that around... Saying that, I mean, the first one's obviously in the 70s, but we really started seeing them a lot in the 80s. Dylan Gordon, hey Dre, what's up, man? Hello, Dylan, welcome to the stream. Alright, meantime, let's, alright, so let's put it in forward. Let's let off the brakes. Let off the, oh, okay, I'm not sure what the locomotive brake is doing. Let's just give it a little bit of throttle. We don't need to get crazy here. Yeah, for some reason it won't go past 20. But either way we're moving, so that's what matters. I've been doing alright. You know, I've had some ups and downs, obviously. This last month of business has been a crazy month for me, really. I've had a lot happen this month, so... But, it's been a test for me, but I think I'll do okay. I think everything will be fine. That's just my personal life. Okay. Okay, so there's only one light. I thought the ditch lights came on, but I guess they don't. Okay, the bell is also very old school sounding. As is the horn, also very... Yeah, I mean, so I have depression. I've talked to you about that before, and I've been able to actually, despite everything that's happened this month, I haven't really been extremely depressed per se, so I'm somehow doing okay. But that's good. Alright, so we're crossing over a bridge here. I believe this is the Connecticut River. Exactly, because we started in like West Springfield, now we're going into Springfield, Mass. So this is probably the Connecticut River, if I had to guess. That's training. Yeah, that was about 6 months ago. Yeah, no, I got a newer car now, so it's all good. But yeah, no, I mean it's just person wasn't paying attention really. New Haven, okay, yeah, we're not yet. New Haven, Connecticut. That's kind of in the same area. For those who are aware of New England. Oh, we got a weird kind of crossing here. This is like a weird. It's like an X pattern. I don't like how the... I was gonna say, I don't like how the horn is essentially a switch, because the horn, it doesn't fade out like it should. Like a normal train horn, it kind of fades in, it fades out. But this one, you press it, and then as soon as you let off it, it just stops. You know, it's not like, it doesn't fade in and out. It just, you press it, and then it stops. It doesn't fade out like how it should. Like on most trains, it does fade out, but this one, it doesn't. I guess it's just a software glitch. Okay, so the end of the train is just crossing the bridge. Yeah, you hear that? I mean, it's not a... Alright, I think for now we can definitely open it up a bit, because we're kind of out of the city now. Oh, yep, you can hear that SD40. I've heard that before. I had a Trains driver on my iPhone many, many years ago, and this is exactly what the SD40 sounded like. You can't, once you hear an SD40, you can't unhear it. I don't know if I told you this or not, but my mom's old car got wrecked back in 2022, so you guys got a new car. That's good. It's good that you have a new car. New cars are definitely safer. I'll definitely say that. All these new cars, all these driver aids, they definitely make the cars safer. I'm not, like some of the driver aids I don't like, but some of them I actually don't mind. Alright, so it looks like we're going uphill here. I'd say we got maybe a 1% grade. Maybe a 1% grade. You can definitely see how we're working uphill. This is going to be about an hour and a half drive. How is the audio? Can you guys hear me okay over the engines? Should I turn the sim down a bit? Or is the sim too quiet? 2010 Ford Fusion. Yeah, Ford Fusions are good cars. I have a... Well, one of my rentals, I have a older Ford Focus in my rental fleet. I have a rental car business, so I got a fair amount of cars. One of them is a Ford Focus. Yeah, Fords are good cars. Audio's quiet, but you can hear me. Okay, that's good. As long as, because I mean, it's like screaming. The engines are like screaming in my ears. I was just curious how you guys could hear it. I mean, I could just turn down my headset volume, and I'll be fine, obviously. I was gonna say, we can't seem to, we got full throttle here, and we're not going faster than 36 because we're going uphill. Maybe I should have actually started accelerating earlier, because I would have had some momentum. We're actually losing speed. Like, we were at 36, now we're crawling down to 35. Let's see just how much longer this keeps up for. Is it like miles and miles? Okay, it goes up and up. Okay, it does eventually flatten out. This is some kind of a... Okay, it does flatten out eventually. This is... Okay, and this is the... yeah, Boston and Albany. That's some kind of an electric locomotive by the sound of it. It's hauling like 4 coal cars and a caboose. New York Central. It's caboose when there's no top. I'm not sure what this thing is. I think it's an electric. It sounds electric. Let's just get a peek inside of it. Looks like someone out of the 1920s, honestly, but we'll look into that later. Yeah, he's kind of crawling at like 15 miles an hour. But, oh, and here we come. Oh, here we come. We're finally up the hill. Let's get a good shot of us smoking this train, if we can. Of us smoking the slower coal train. No, we're not going to catch him. I mean, not here at least. He's way too close, so we need another place that we can get us both at. We got some kind of a warehouse here that has a siding. Let's try and go down here. I just want to get a cool cinematic shot of it. Alright, yeah, this is probably a good spot. Yeah, I was going to say, he's got a fair lead on us. I mean, we will catch him. We're coming up on him. Alrighty. Alright, maybe we should move a little bit further on. I want to get the perfect shot. Alright, so almost the whole train is up the hill now. Yep, here we come. Damn, it's hard to get a shot. I mean, I gotta say, we're really... Okay, we are picking up speed now. See, this is kind of tricky. Fucking hard. This dude's actually, I guess he's also picked up speed. The slower coal train. Say we're just maybe nipping his tail now. Alright, we're just passing him. There we go. Smoking him. He's crawling at maybe like 30 miles an hour. We're doing like 50. I think he's on maybe some kind of a sideline, so he has a lower limit. He has a lower track speed than we do. So I guess... Good, man. Some game have louder, quiet audio. Kind of frustrating. Yeah, and with Train Simulator, you can't just close it out. It's kind of tricky with Train Simulator. Because if you close it out, it might crash on you. Better out than in. Okay, so even the back of the train... We're still, so we still haven't even passed the coal train completely. But we're coming up on them. Oak Street platform. Well, we're not stopping there. This is a freight train. That's some kind of a weird, oh, that's just a warehouse. That's all it is. Yep, 4 viewers. Welcome, 4 viewers. Yeah, I probably will do American Truck Simulator again. Probably will. Just slowly get back into streaming, really. Just do, I think, once a week, maybe once, twice a week. Oh, and we got another train here. We got this is what, a New York Central, and also a freight train. Yeah, those are the kind of diesels they used back in the 50s when this line was... Oh. So he's actually he's shorter than us. He's maybe only like 20, 30 cars. shit, I forgot to honk at the crossing. Maybe it's one of those like no train horn places. Because in my city not too far from me, they have a crossing where it's like no train horn. Because it's a noise issue. This is just a bridge. What is a raised flanger? Alright, yeah, we're... Let's just get out of the way. We're finally getting up to speed here. We're finally doing like 60. Oh, it's a small dirt road. It's not even a real crossing. Finally getting up to some speed. We've traveled about maybe 10 miles so far. About 17 minutes in. And we got like 44 miles, 45 miles to go. We are making good speed now. We're not going like insanely fast, obviously, because this is a pretty heavy train. But I was gonna say, I don't think we're getting faster than like 70 in this thing. Most of these freight trains, they don't go faster than like 70, 75. This thing, I just don't think it can physically top out. Yeah, it probably goes up to 70 maybe. North Wilbraham, Blackwell. We got another train coming. That's also a New York Central coal train. This is some small ass platform. I would find it hard to believe that that's an actual station still in use today. I mean, this line is like set in the 1950s, given by the locomotives. I doubt a platform like that would still be in use in 2025. Oh, I remember this stretch. This is right where the track gets curvy. Between North Wilbraham. I remember this a couple years ago. I drove a Amtrak out here, and I remember it was really curvy. It was kind of these two places, it was curvy. And we were hot dogging at like 80 miles an hour. And we were fine. So, we should be fine here. Just, it kind of gets curvy here. That being said, we are a longer train. And we are also going uphill now. Slight grade, as you can tell. Very slight grade. Because we are losing a bit of speed. We were doing like 66 and now we're down to 60. And we're going here, we're like going full throttle. Flightman 100, I do like the occasional train sim. I only have Miami to West Palm Beach and New Haven and New York. I've had train sims since for like 12 years. I've had it since 2013. I have New York to New Haven, I have that. I have Boston and Albany, which is realistically only Boston to Springfield. It's not really Boston to Albany. I have Miami to Palm Beach. I have Sherman Hill. I have Cajun Pass, or Cajon Pass, sorry, not Cajun Pass. I have Sherman. Did I say Sherman Hill? Yeah, I got, I believe it's called Sherman Hill, maybe, or it's the one that or maybe Blackfoot. Fuck, I can't remember what it's called. I know it's in like Wyoming and Montana. Maybe it's like, yeah, I can't remember what it was called. I have that one. I have New York to DC, or like New York to Philadelphia, or the Northeast Corridor they call it. I have that one. So I have New Haven to New York, and then I have New York to like Philadelphia. Yeah, I got Sherman Hill. Yeah, I believe Sherman Hill is the one that's in Wyoming and Montana. I have the European routes that you get with the game. Like I have London Faversham High Speed, but you get that with the game. The Germany routes, you get those too. I have some Chinese high-speed line. I have that. That whole line, I drove it in like 40 minutes. Some Chinese line. It's some Chinese high-speed line. I can't remember what it was called. Maybe Ching Chong high-speed line or something like that. I can't really remember. I do plan on expanding down to the whole Northeast Corridor, probably NYC, New York to Philly next. I'm like, yeah, New York to Philly, it's a historical route. I've been on that route in real life. I took a Amtrak down there once in real life. Twice, actually. Once to DC, once to Philly. I have the Acela Express, too. And I have the old AEM7, which they retired those maybe 8-9 years ago. Those AEM7s were straight units. They ran those things for like 50 years here. Yeah, the Acela's nice. It's not very fast. I will say that. It's not very fast. America doesn't really have a high-speed rail network. And pretty much all other countries do. That's the one thing I wish we had. Was a high-speed network. An actual high-speed. Okay, we got a New York Central passenger. I mean, we have the Acela Express, and that's it, really. We don't have any high-speed trains here, aside from the Acela. You know, Germany, they have the ice train. Japan has those, the bullet trains, they call them. China has them, too. Even like third world countries like Uzbekistan, even they have high-speed rail. That's something I don't understand why the U.S. can't have. But yeah, railroads aren't really profitable anymore in the U.S. Alright, so the track actually branches off a fair amount there. This is Palmer. Oh. Where does this track go? Is this just a siding? Yeah, it looks like it. I would say this. It's pretty long siding. There's a new Acela. Yeah, I think I did see that. There is a new Acela. I gotta check that out. I think I just saw pictures of it. I didn't read too much about it. Yeah, of course can't go full speed because of the track limits. I mean, like, Europe has high-speed rail. Like, almost all of Europe, really. Like, France has the TGV. Got a lonely caboose sitting there by itself. And we got another sharp turn coming up. Alright, so we've actually saved 3 minutes off the ETA. We're now 30 minutes away, and before it was saying 14:21, now it's 14:18, so we're making a good time. Probably because I'm speeding. Yeah, for whatever reason, the locomotive brake, I can't get it down past 20%. got coming up in the next few miles. Maybe we'll get a couple cinematic shots. So we got a fairly... Oh, yeah, we got a sharp turn. This is a sharp turn. We'll get a good shot of the crossing because we know the train is on the way. Train on the water, boat on the track. Just going to get a nice shot of it. Alrighty. Sitting nice and quiet. We'll get a good shot of this. Maybe this will be like a YouTube short. But it'll be a pretty cool shot. Oh shit, it's already coming. Coming around the bend. Damn, that was quick. I did not think it'd be this quick. I was surprised at how quick that was, how quick we took that crossing. That crossing, there should be like, I don't know why there's no gates or lights, because I guess that road isn't very well traveled on, but still, I would think you would want that on a line where there's high-speed trains. We've got another New York Central freight service coming by. Does Massachusetts have abandoned railroad tracks? Probably, I believe so. I know Vermont does. Vermont actually has a fair amount of railroad history. Vermont has a fair amount of railroad history. Yeah, I think Massachusetts. I know there's like North Adams, Mass, which is kind of a freight. There's like a freight, not really a freight depot there, but I know there's a train station there, which isn't actually used for anything. I think there's maybe like a scenic train once or twice a year, but there's not really a active passenger service there in North Adams. I know the freight trains go there all the time. I think I know there's a line that kind of branches off the main line that isn't really used, so it's kind of abandoned. I'm sure Massachusetts has abandoned railroad tracks. I know New York does. We have a short line right near where I live that it's not abandoned per se, but it's barely used. It's poorly maintained. Trains travel there maybe like 10 miles an hour, and there's maybe like two trains a week. Yeah, I really wish Train Sim had multiplayer. Yeah, I really wish it was multiplayer. I think there was one called Trains Driver, and that's a really old game, but I think Trains Driver was multiplayer. Yeah, in West Virginia, there was a lot of coal mines that had tracks going to them, and they've kind of, and unfortunately, due to the decline in the coal industry, they've kind of become abandoned. Fun fact, Dovatel made a flight sim called Flight Sim World based on FSX, and later became FS20. So Dovatel made a flight sim? So it was made after FSX was and before FS20, and FS20 kind of copied Flight Sim World. Is that what you're saying? That's kind of cool, actually. Alright, we're going up another. Actually, this is a fairly steep grade here. We are losing speed. We're down to like 60 now. And I've been going full throttle ever since we left Springfield. Fun fact, Springfield, Massachusetts is the Springfield where The Simpsons takes place. And I'll tell you why, for those who didn't know. So, as you can see in the opening credits for The Simpsons, you can see how, whatchamacallit, you can see how they're playing, how the kids are, vandalizing the statue. And if you look at the statue, you can see how there's, you know, some kind of pioneer with a raccoon, with a hat. He has like a hat that's made out of a raccoon pelt. And that was something that was very common in New England in the pioneer days, obviously. There was a lot of like there was a lot of stuff like that in Massachusetts. A lot of trapping, you know, the fur trade. There was a lot of stuff like that going on in Massachusetts in, you know, the colonial era. So that is probably, that's what indicates that Springfield and The Simpsons is Springfield, Massachusetts, is because of their pelt on the statue. So that's what gives me that idea. It's that pioneer days. Another theory is that it's Springfield, Oregon, but I don't think it could be Oregon. I don't think Oregon gets 4 seasons. I don't think Oregon had a fur trade, did it? Maybe it did. Okay, this crossing had lights. It's the first one I've had in a bit. Okay, I'll definitely take a peek at it. I can't take a peek at it now because I got the game running. And up there's my phone. Yeah, this is one short-ass platform. And yeah, we've lost a lot of speed going up this grade. We have lost, like, a lot of fucking speed. We were doing 65, we're now down to 47. That being said, we still shaved 2 minutes off our ETA. We got another zigzag coming through here. I remember the Amtrak drive was a lot quicker, but I think it was also because we were going downhill most of the way. And we were obviously going a lot faster. We were doing like 80, 90 miles an hour in the Amtrak. But I remember the Kirby tracks pretty well. And it pretty much just zigzags through the woods. And yeah, this is the furthest it'll let me go, obviously, because it knows the train wasn't West Virginia. I don't think well, maybe there is. Maybe there is some kind of Appalachian Railroad. I honestly wouldn't know. Definitely would make sense to have like a Pennsylvania or like West Virginia, you know, map. So this is Warren. So that was, I guess, like West Warren, and this is going to be Warren. We're going to zoom, and this is actually a respectably sized platform. About damn time. Let's get a good shot. Or where can we? Okay, I was gonna say, I guess from the bridge. Want to get a good shot of the train flying through here. Okay, we're about a mile away from Warren, and we're still climbing, and we're still losing speed. Actually, now we picked up speed a bit. TLDR is Flight Sim World. Okay, I'm going to read that. It was a bad test for MSFS devs. Implemented a bunch of features into Flight Sim World, but rejected by Dovatel management. Those features ended up in FS20. How did that happen? Did like a Zobo buy them? Okay, I hear the train. It's coming. I hear that train a-coming. It's coming round the bend. And I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. That was a Johnny Cash song, Folsom Prison Blues. I can't play that, obviously. mean, I think you mean like super beta of FS20, because alpha is the version that's been released. Beta is the version that hasn't been released yet. When was Flight Sim World released? Oh. Yeah, no webcam today. For some reason, webcam, my Zoom, and because I do it for Zoom, I have a virtual green screen, so I do it for Zoom. And for whatever reason, Zoom and Train Sim don't go well together. My webcam never works with Train Sim. At least not in the past. Maybe I'll try it again. But that's why there's no webcam today. Alright, we've been going for 39 minutes. I'm already a bit tired. It's been a crazy fucking week, to say the least, my guy. Got another New York Central freight train. That is a Alico FS7. We're going to see it again here, because now I'm in the tail cam. Shit, pardon me, better out than in. That's how I did it back in the day. Maybe that's not a bad idea. I was going to say, I usually have a green screen, so that way my face goes well with... Oh, shit. Damn it. Uh-oh. And shit, we crashed. Oh, no, maybe... I guess we're good. We're good. Oh, okay, for a second, the train was driving on the dirt there. The train was driving on the fucking dirt. There was no track. But you see, folks, that's what happens when you tap out of Train Sim. It sometimes crashes. I'd say we got lucky there. Have I tried my webcam with OBS? I did it back in the day. That's how I used to do it before I had the green screen. The green screen is better, obviously, because it's just me, and then it shows the game. It's not showing anything in my background, like in my room. But maybe for Train Sim, we can try that. I kind of have a messy room, so there's that too. I kind of don't like to show it off. It's actually not as bad as it used to be, but my desk is a fucking mess. I have so much shit on my desk, I need to clean it up. I probably will do it later today. I gotta do some bookkeeping, so. West Brookfield, we got 25 miles to go to Worcester, or Worcester. Tired. Alright, so we were in West Brookfield, now we're coming up on Brookfield. don't want people standing on the platform when you're driving by. So we shaved another 2 minutes off our ETA. You are still growing in sub count, actually, little by little. I'm like, no shit. 5 viewers, welcome 5 viewers. Yeah, sorry I've been quiet for the last few minutes, reading my Reddit. Another thing, I actually got banned from my local Walmart. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a Spark driver. I called the manager of the OGP, online grocery pickup. So she basically manages the deliveries at the store. I allegedly called her a bitch to another associate, and because of that I got reported to, I was trespassed from that store, possibly all other Walmarts too, and I was also reported to Walmart and Spark, but Spark is yet to deactivate me. Oh, we got a sharp turn coming here. Still growing a little in sub count. 6 viewers, welcome 6 viewers. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. We actually had 7 for a brief second. It was 7, but then it ducked down to 6, but still happy to have everybody here. As for my sub count, I think that's just some of my older videos that were extremely popular, and they're still earning views to this day. I wasn't fired per se. I was just basically, at least not yet, I haven't been banned from Spark. It's 1099, so you don't like get fired like you do at a normal job. But that being said, I have gotten fired from real jobs before, and I just went on unemployment and took it easy for a few months. I am a huge fan of unemployment. You get free money from the government. So you take that shit, milk that shit for as long as you can, folks. But, you know, with that being said, being banned for allegedly calling someone a bitch, that literally just proves the point of the alleged statement. Because, like, you gotta factor in, is she seriously gonna have a problem? Is she seriously gonna trespass every customer who, you know, disrespects her? No, she's not. She's just power hungry, you know, childless cat lady. It's that kind of, that type. It's that kind of mentality. They also threw in some bullshit themselves. Like, she also trumped it up a bit, so that way I could get... She actually threw in some more stuff that I never said. I was gonna say, I mean, like 5 years, like, I'd say around COVID is when everything changed. COVID is when people became wicked sensitive. Next flyover, what are we gonna do for that? Yeah, I haven't given that much thought. I mean, in all honesty, we've literally been everywhere in the world. I've literally flown from the North Pole to the South Pole. I've flown across the North Pole. We've literally done everything over the course of, you know, the last 5 years. I was gonna say, dude, we didn't know how good we had it before COVID. Like 2019, that was the time to be alive. 7 viewers, welcome 7 viewers. Some routes, I don't know what routes we can do really. Maybe the Pacific Northwest. We haven't done much there. I mean, I think we did like Oregon. I think we did maybe like Tacoma, Washington, Oregon, maybe a couple of times, but not a whole lot. Yeah, we haven't done much in South America. We like a couple of times we've been there. Yeah. A few times, so yeah, we haven't done much in South America. We haven't done much in the Midwest either. Like, I think we did maybe Minnesota, and you know, Illinois, maybe Iowa. I don't think we've done anything in, like, North or South Dakota, but for what it's worth, there's, like, absolutely nothing there. We've been in the southern United States. Like, we've been pretty much all down the East Coast. We've been over from like Florida to California, like we've been over Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, we've been all over. I don't think we've done, actually, yeah, we have done some stuff in the Heartland. We did the Route 66 flight many years ago with Brett. That was actually Brett's flight, and I just joined in on that. And he was flying along Route 66, basically. Korea, haven't been there in 4 years. Well, when was the last time I went to Korea? I can't remember. Yeah, we haven't done much in Korea. We did a fair amount of stuff in Russia. That was before the war. Yeah, we haven't done much in Japan either. We have done China, but again, China hasn't been in years. We've done Indonesia once or twice. We've done, we've done Australia a few times with Brett, but maybe we should do Australia again. Oh shit, better up it in. Right, here we come, coming up to Charlton, Massachusetts. Oh, this is a steep fucking grade too. We were cruising at like 60, 65. Now we're down to 39. I'm not even paying attention here, so, you know, that's why, obviously, but... It's just like all the track looks the same after a certain point, and we got another coal train soon behind us. Maybe some areas of AU we didn't visit with Brett. Let's see, we did Tasmania. We did some Australia. Yeah, we haven't done a whole lot in Australia. I was going to say Orlu is pretty cool. Orlu is really, really cool. I've only been there once in Flight Sim. And I never really went there. And that wasn't on stream either. It was before stream even. So maybe we should do Orlu. We've done a lot in Europe. We've been pretty much everywhere in Europe. We've been to like Turkey, Greece, Italy, France, UK, Ireland, Scotland, Germany, Austria. Yep, we've been to Austria at least once. Switzerland. Yeah, we've probably been to Switzerland. Definitely. Yeah, we've definitely been to Belarus. Probably Poland. Maybe not the Baltic states. I'm not sure actually about the Baltic states. Have we done the Caribbean? When did we do the Caribbean? I can't remember. I remember we did some Caribbean stuff. Like we did Cuba to Cancun. We did like hurricane flyouts there. What stuff did we do in the Caribbean? I can't remember it. I was gonna say we've done so much stuff that I can't remember every single thing. We've done so much stuff. But yeah, we haven't been... When was the last time we even went to Korea? I can't even remember that. But yeah, we should check out Latin America. We haven't done much there. I think we did Panama flyout. We've been to Brazil maybe a couple times. And Mexico a couple times. And we also did a drug run from Colombia to Miami. I think we've been to Puerto Rico. Yeah, we've been to Puerto Rico. We've been to Puerto Rico too. I think we've been to Hawaii. I'm not sure. I think we maybe stopped at Hawaii once or twice. I have a good collection of Hawaiian shirts that I like. I'm a big Hawaiian shirt enthusiast. Alright, so now we're going downhill. And we're actually getting up to some speed. We're doing 65 and climbing. It's for the first time we're actually really hauling. I think we're going to get up to 70, and I think that'll be it. I don't think this thing goes faster than 70. Went there in the Concorde from LA. Hawaii to LA to Hawaii in the Concorde. I remember we did some stuff with the Concorde. Yeah, the Pepsi Concorde, I remember that. And yeah, I know you were there for a lot of it. Rev was there too. Icarus was there. I was gonna say, I'm really trying to get the band and the gang back together, but most people a lot of people have just disappeared. Like Shawno has just kind of disappeared. Joe Trills has disappeared. Captain ACQ, he's also kind of disappeared. A lot of people have just disappeared. But I know Icarus, Flightman, and Rev are still around. And Dylan. He was here too. I think he discovered us actually when we went to West Virginia. That's how he found us. Okay, there we go. Another coal train. Say, what is with all these damn coal trains? I don't know of any coal mines in Massachusetts. Alright, we're doing 70 here. I think this is literally the max speed that this thing can do, and I don't think we're going any faster than it. Well, we're doing 71 now. 71.9. Yep, 70 now. Rochdale. Rochdale is also a town in the UK. Alrighty. Alright, we got 9 miles to go. 1410 is now our ETA. So I don't think this thing can go past 88. Most freight trains in the US, they're governed, most freight locomotives are governed to 65 or 75. At least the newer ones. They're governed to 75. I was gonna say, these train stations, they're all like, they're small as hell. Like, they are just small, but I guess it's because, I guess this place takes place, I mean, the map is set in the 1950s. That's probably why, I guess. Trains were smaller then. That being said, everything was better in the 50s. So yeah, we got 8 miles to go. 14:09 now. So when we started this drive, the ETA was 14:21. Now it's 14:09. So we've shaved 12 minutes off of it by speeding. Yeah, the 80s or the 50s. Yeah, both of those were great times to be alive. I would realistically say that like 1945 until like probably maybe 2000. I'd say that was probably the best time to be alive, really. And I'd say that was the peak of America. I'd say the peak of America was like 1945 until like 2000. That's what I would say was the peak. Like, I mean, I would be happy to live from the 50s. I'd say like the 50s to the 80s was the golden age. Like 1950 until like 1989. I was gonna say the 60s were a fairly good time. I mean, there was Vietnam and there was a civil rights activist, but aside from that, the 60s were pretty good. We had Woodstock. The 70s were kind of good too. Well, the 70s actually were a bit tricky because the 70s there was a recession going on. Oh man, we got a train just sitting here. That is a Alco RS3 parked right there. I actually have one of those. The train tracks near my house, they actually have an Alco RS3 that they use for freight service to this day. But yeah, as I was saying, I would be happy to live any time between the 50s to the 80s. I'd be happy to live in the 60s or the 70s too. Now, that being said, the 70s were a bit tricky because there was the oil crisis. Then there was political turmoil in the 70s. But nonetheless, the 70s was still a fairly good time, despite the, recessions. I only know of 2 recessions, really. And I know towards the late 70s, there was high interest rates and inflation. But we got that going on now, too. That 70s show, I've seen clips of that. That summarizes how they had it and how life was in the 70s. If you've seen that 70s show, I've only seen clips of it. Could we get the FedEx A300 or 777 do freight ops? Yeah, that would be cool. We haven't done freight ops in a while, actually, because we did do some freight operations back in the day. I remember we did the vaccine run during COVID. We did the COVID vaccine run, and we used freighters. We used like FedEx, UPS. We used DHL for the vaccine runs. I remember that. Yeah, we used 767s, 777s, 727s. I might actually have the A300 somewhere. I know for a fact I have the A310. Alright, next up we got the Jamesville platform. We got 4 miles to go. 14:06 is now the current ETA. So we have shaved 15 minutes off of our ETA because the original ETA was like 14:21 and now we're like 14:06. But even then, after 2000, things weren't automatically bad. I'd say realistically, life was still pretty good until about 2020. And I've had a good couple years since. I mean, COVID was a bad year. I've had some good years after COVID, some bad years. I honestly miss just how things were back in the 2000s. Things were just simpler in the 2000s. Like 2009, that was a good year. The 2010s were pretty good too, for the most part. Like 2012 was a pretty good year. 2013 was a good year. 2014 was pretty good. 2015 was a really good year, I remember. 2016 for me, not so much. 2017 was also kind of a rough year for me. But 2018 and 2019 were both fairly good years. Got a cemetery there. Maybe this is where all the coal trains are coming from, because we got a huge pile of coal here. Alright, we got 2 miles to go. Alright, I reckon we start slowing down here. Let it coast for now. We use some brakes to slow down. Obviously, we don't want to get too carried away. We got Hammond Station. It's Hammond Street, like Richard Hammond. You know, you know. Got another Alco RS3. Oh, we actually got 2 of them. I don't know why you need 2 to haul a short coal train, but hey, it works. That being said, back in the 50s, fuel was pretty cheap. So, mind you, the cars that people had back then, those things were gas guzzlers. They got like 2 miles to the gallon. Those cars were thirsty. Oh, we got a tractor trailer train here. So we got the Alco train. Now we got less than a mile, so we probably should start giving it some more brakes. We're coming into Worcester Station. You can hear him hissing. This is Worcester, Massachusetts, everybody. We have made it in 1 hour and 1 hour and 3 minutes, give or take. Alright, I reckon for now we let it coast. Just gonna slowly coast into the station, really. Because I've had that happen where I come in way too fast and I have to just slam on the brakes. Like to go to into the yard actually, but for whatever reason it doesn't want us to go to the yard. Fucking wherever we stop, we stop. So yeah, we got a red signal here. We'll stop right before it. Alrighty, so I guess that's going to be the end of the stream here. Made it in about an hour and like 5 minutes or so. So we took 17 minutes off the initial ETA. Can you believe it? Initially, start ETA was 14:21. We got here at 14:04, so we got here early. Alrighty, so we reached the end of the quick drive scenario. Well, it's been a great stream. Thank you everybody for joining. But anyways, I guess that wraps up for the stream. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, and please subscribe if you guys want more streams like this, and have a good day.